Hey, welcome to my channel. Hope you enjoy. This is a balloon cycle deck. Have some fun. Welcome, playing a balloon cycle deck with Miner. Let's just get right into it. This is my first time playing this deck pretty much, so that'll be interesting. I actually created this deck for all I know, so it should be pretty interesting. I'm usually a 2.9 player, but now I'm giving my hand at the balloon because I enjoy cycle decks and I think I'm good at them. I also have my Tesla leveled up, so I decided to use Tesla for defense instead of a NATO combo, like either Executioner NATO or Ice Wizard NATO. So I think the Tesla will give me a pretty good damage defense, but it will be like a little bit worse with the stopping power compared to a NATO defense. But my double small spell I think will come in handy against this bait deck to really stop his pushes. You see there his tricky barrel gets mostly stopped. As I go in for a push here, his witch is going to be a little bit annoying, but I think after the balance change, the witch is not going to be as good as it was before. With the massive reduction in hit speed, it's going to take it down, I think, a lot. Oh, there's actually an interesting move I made. I used both my small spells, didn't have enough to defend for the goblin barrel. So that makes it a little bit difficult on me, but I defend with my air troops. What's actually unique about this deck that I made, there are no ranged cards besides the Tesla. So I've got the Mega Minion, Bats, and those are my main DPS troops. And then for offense, I can do small pushes with miners, bats, balloons, and for defense, it's focusing on damaging through the Tesla and using Ice Golem to slow things down, and also using the small spells to alter the battlefield in my favor, hopefully. This deck, I would say, struggles against heavier decks sometimes, or ones with lots of air counters, maybe. But as you can see here, I'm doing a good job of just chipping away at his tower, not letting him do a ton of damage to me. Although I think here I do take a little bit of damage, yeah. Take about 1,000 damage, a little more. That's not great for me, but I'm ready to counter push pretty hard here, but he has the witch, so I distract it. The NATO comes down. I think at best I'll get death damage here, maybe a impact, nope. Just death damage, but death damage from balloon, if you can defend effectively, it's enough to win games in overtime. There we see Barbarian Barrel used to counter. I really enjoy this deck just because of the fast cycle, and a lot of times it keeps the opponent on edge the entire game. They don't have time to set themselves and think. Alright, going to the next game here, we've got a collection day battle. I enjoy these classic battles because it gives you an opportunity to play with deck types you don't usually play. Like, I never play Hog, much less Earthquake. So this will be fun, I'm thinking, but who knows? Well, then I'm a little surprised to start. He puts the Expo down, so I panic and play Hog. Again, not a great Hog player, but I just want to survive with as little damage as I can in this first minute because I know I have advantage, being that I have the Earthquake against his Expo, and I think in Classic they have the Tesla Tower too, so the Earthquake will be good to use against that, and I'll be able to hang with him in the long run. So there's really no way he can win if I play this properly. I've got the deck advantage. It's just a matter of me not being an idiot. Let's see if I can pull it out. But I think the Earthquake is, as I play 2.9 Expo most of the time, Earthquake is a card that pisses me off quite a bit when I play it. I don't see Earthquake a lot on ladder. Most people don't spend the time to upgrade it, but if I do see it, it is very annoying because it is a hard counter to Expo and Tesla. and even the small troops in the 2.9 deck. So I would say that and Rocket are some of the most frustrating spells to play against, because Rocket pretty much negates Expo if they have some small tank too. So, and it's not very skillful either. Like you can use a Rocket without much skill and affect a Expo player and win usually. But this matchup, I don't know, pretty boring, but it's key that I maintain pressure and cycle effectively to keep up with his Expos and not let him beat me by out-cycling me. So here, I don't know, that may have been a mistake, but the Earthquake sort of saves me, and there's not much he can do to try and counter that. There's really not much interplay with that or counterplay, which one of my big knocks on this game is that there are no counterplays with some cards. Like some cards, like Earthquake against a building, for instance, you can't counter that. There's no interesting dynamics, really. It's really, they have this card, you have that card, and their card's better, your card's better, and it's not necessarily a test of skill. That's really my main critique of this game, but I still find it fun. It's generally competitive and interesting. So as the game went down here, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to take the win. I've got damage advantage, or at least I will. I just need to make sure I don't do anything dumb, keep the Earthquakes going when he puts down an Expo. Yeah, so I would say when this deck was good, I played it a little bit, and it was fun because Earthquake was a new and interesting card, but I really don't find this deck all that fun to use, besides for the classic challenges. It can be entertaining. But again, it's always fun for me to go against someone who's using a 2.9 Expo deck, because that's what I usually use myself. So it's interesting to see how it is to play against rather than just play. I think that's fun to see it from the other side. And it's also nice to play against some of the decks that counter 2.9 Expo when I'm playing a Expo deck, and just see oh, this is really easy. I don't have to try as hard as I would with an Expo deck, because 2.9 Expo is one of the highest skill decks in the game. And yeah, there I take his tower and game's over. That's a good collection day battle, not too hard, but fun nonetheless. Alright, going into our third battle, back on ladder. I'm playing another version of the minor balloon, but this time instead of the Mega Minion, I'm playing archers. And archers I do have maxed out. Mega Minion I've got at level 12, I believe. So that should give me a little bit of advantage. And like I was saying before, in the earlier minor balloon cycle deck, I didn't have a ranged troop. But now with the archers I do, and that should hopefully give me some added versatility and enable me to do some things that I wasn't with only the Mega Minion. And the addition of the level, but we'll see. Things go well as we start off. He doesn't get too much damage. And again, this guy's playing the Witch, and I think a lot of the ladder players who are playing Witch right now aren't going to be so successful, because Witch is not going to be that good. I am proud of that little defense I had right there. I snowballed the Witch and snowballed the Dark Goblin into my side of the tower and had the Ice Golem there for targeting. That worked out in my favor. That's why I like cycle decks, because you feel more skillful than the other player who's just playing like a Witch or something. Witch on ladder in my range is pretty prevalent, and I'm pretty happy that there is a big nerf coming to the Witch. Here I know he doesn't have enough elixir to play an effective offense with that Wizard, so I'm not all that scared, and then I can easily defend that Valkyrie on the left. So that'll be nice, just easy defense. But then here with the Goblin Barrel, I don't have any of my small spells in cycle. That's not terrible though. Archers do a decent job of defending there, and then I can go in for a counter push because I know he's low on elixir. But I did not expect him to have the Executioner, because he already has 2 5 elixir. support troops and the witch and the wizard, so wasn't necessarily expecting that. Oh, and the new barbarian barrel buff. That's a good one. I think it'll help me with these types of decks, and I think it'll make Balloon more viable, because barbarian barrel does really well with Balloon. So we'll see. Witch coming in sends the Goblin Barrel in a little early, in my opinion. Doesn't get as much value as he could. This defense is a little tricky. I'm in an awkward place in my cycle, so I decided I'll just play another Ice Golem. I'm ready to defend here, but also I'll just go on a little bit of the counterattack just to finish off his tower right before the game ends. And that's what you want to do with this type of deck. You either want to just play a super strong defense and not let him have any damage and really just let the game drag out, or you want to win right before time expires. And you're going to have to take some damage if you play that strategy, but yeah.